Playing Pharaoh was like the bomb thing for me. I just loved that role. It was a dream role. I loved the pelvic thrust. I loved the thank you very much. I loved going out into the audience and hamming it up, and I couldn't have had a better time. I loved the cast, and I just loved co-directing with Margie. What an incredible experience.
So Joseph holds a very special place in my heart, mainly because I was obsessed with it as a child. Growing up in England, it was a huge hit. I used to listen to the soundtrack all the time. And it was also pretty fun because Margie was slightly less strict back then about us chatting in rehearsals. So I got to know a lot of the girls in the cast, and we had an absolute blast.
I know it sounds totally cheesy and tacky, but being in Joseph really showed me that I can do anything, because it was the first time that I had a solo. Do you remember the good days and that I could dance with my colleagues and have a great time. The singing, the dancing, the harmonizing, the solo, it was just, I felt like I could do anything in that production. So thank you. Thank you, Margie.
Joseph was my first JWRC show, and after watching my Aunt Barbara perform a few years and seeing how much of a sisterhood and how much she loved and enjoyed that outlet, I really wanted to be part of it. And what it meant to me was being able to find that outlet and find that self-care.
I'm so grateful to have been able to perform with my sister on stage and to have this amazing experience that I was able to share with her. So, love you, sis.
Okay, so aside from playing Mrs. Potiphar, I also played the wife of Zebulun. And my sister, Liron, was Zebulun. So, my sister was a brother, and I was her wife, his wife. Talk about family problems.
Joseph was the first show that we completely sold out, which was so exciting. I also loved our pyramid set, which was built for us by Rachel Ross. Her daughter Yael had played Nathan Detroit in Our Guys and Dolls, and her youngest daughter Ariel was Tommy in Annie Get Your Gun. She worked as a contractor and a builder and offered to build that pyramid for us for free. It was spectacular, and it was stationary, one of the easiest sets we ever had. And, little piece of trivia, her third daughter, Maytal, actually married my cousin. How random.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat has been part of my life since 1973 on a very different version of the show. In college, I directed it in all Hebrew, and I'm so grateful to have participated with the JWRC. Love you guys.
I think the most powerful memory I have is every time Linda Korn, who played Joseph, and I did the scene at the end where Joseph rides up in a chariot to see his father, and we look across the stage to one another. We sort of embodied those characters at that moment and really connected with that moment in history, thinking about how significant it was. And I remember many of the times we would both get teary-eyed, I thinking and feeling the feeling of being Jacob, and Linda thinking and the feeling of being Joseph.
Joseph for me was the show that I grew up, where I got married that summer. I got pregnant. I was one of the pregnant brothers, and I really could not have gotten through the stress of getting my wedding planned and gone through and going through pregnancy without the support of all of the women in the JWRC. And I appreciate each and every one of you. We celebrate together, we do so much together, and I hope that it continues for many, 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 many more years. So thank you to each of you. I love you all, and I can't wait to actually see you in person again.
This show has always held a very special place in my heart. I've been in it 4 times. When I was a kid, I was in the children's choir when the Broadway revival cast did an exhibition show in Los Angeles. And then I did it a number of times. I did it at school, I did it at camp. I've gotten to play the narrator multiple times, and it's just a very special show for me.
From the moment I saw the ad for Joseph in Hilly Ground, I knew that I wanted to be part of this fabulous musical. It was my very first time performing with JWRC, and once I was cast, I knew that I was part of something larger than myself. And it was an exceptional experience. I had so much fun.
My son was 3 years old, and I remember practicing all the songs to Joseph together and putting on that beautiful coat of many colors and taking pictures. And he got to see his Appa support his Ima to do something that was so important to her and brought so much joy to her, and got to see how much joy that brought back into the family. And later on, he got to do the show himself at his middle school. Pretty cool.
Joseph was really special for me because it was my first adult production I'd ever been in, and I met such wonderful women who I could admire and who not only I respected, but they respected me. And it really just changed my whole view about being in a production, what it means to work with a team. And it was such a special show with all the great music.
The Bethlehem gals were super cool. I loved getting to know them all. And at the theater on that pyramid thing, it seemed like we would fall. I still love singing that high part, who's the thief? 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 And I loved crawling like a goat on my knees. So many hidden pregnancies in the cast. I love being the butler, and each part of the show was a blast.